Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As usual, it's your girl Berry Dakara, and in today's video I want to talk about why I have decided to rent out my house as opposed to living there, as opposed to moving to the house. Sorry, I think my glasses are reflecting. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. So tired. But yeah, I want to talk about why I've decided to rent out the house as opposed to moving. And before I get into the reasons why, let me just give you a little bit of a backstory if you don't know how I have gotten to this point. So in 2011, I decided to move back to Nigeria for NYSE. And if you're not Nigerian, then NYSC is the Nigerian Youth Service Corporate Corps. I'm not sure what the core is. Core, CORPS, whatever. And it's 1 year of service where you give back to the community and gain some work experience for 1 year. You're supposed to live in a different state than where you are originally from. And in 2011, I decided to do that. I moved back to Nigeria, and the plan was to come back to the States right after I was done. But in that 1 year, I met my now almost ex-husband, and so was getting married. Well, yeah, was going to. I met him. He was still my boyfriend at the time, but we eventually got married. Now getting divorced. And also, I got a pretty good job and decided to stay in Nigeria. Now, the plan after my husband and I got married was that whenever we got pregnant, then we would, whenever we got pregnant, then I would come over here to have the baby. And then we would decide to move over here and, you know, at least start our family here. Unfortunately, we had issues getting pregnant. You guys already know all about that. If you don't, then look up my, I think I was trying to conceive video. And so we eventually just moved here. My husband, wanted us to move. So we moved over here in 2016. And the plan at the time, he was very, I guess, optimistic that as soon as we moved, we would both find jobs and buy a house within like 6 months of moving here. My parents have a big house here in Georgia, so the plan was we would stay with them for 6 months and then we would get our own place. We'd have these fantastic jobs and then we'd get our own place and move out. Things did not pan out as he thought. And so I have lived in my parents' house since 2016. I'm going to be 40 in about 6 months. And yeah, at a point it's like I'm this old in quotes, and I still live with my parents. So it would make anybody think, now that, Barry got a house, she should move out, right? I mean, the past 5 years, 5.5 years actually, the past 5.5 years have been, I'm grateful, super grateful to my parents for their support, super grateful. Um, not only have they housed me, they housed my then husband as well when we were still together. And they have housed my daughter and I, ever since she was born. She's 4.5 years old now. And it's been more than a blessing, bigger than a blessing. That's not to say that there haven't been hard times. There have been times where, we've clashed, we've butted heads. I think there was a time where my dad and I were kind of like not speaking for a couple of months. Listen, my dad can be very stubborn and so can I. Because we had an altercation, and there have been times where, it's like, oh my gosh, can you guys allow me to breathe and stop micromanaging my parenting, stop micromanaging me? Like, for instance, let me give you an example. Every single day without fail, has Coco eaten? What did she eat? Every single day without fail. And it's like, you guys, I know how to parent. She's my child. I know what to give her. Like, why do you need to ask on a daily basis what she's eating? It's like you're micromanaging my parenting. And I even remember I think 2 years ago, so 2 or 3 years ago, while talking to a therapist, he said to me that my parents don't necessarily see me as an adult because I still live in their house. And his recommendation was not just that I move out to a new house, he said to move to a completely different state so that my parents would, in his words, respect me. And, for a second there, let me not even lie. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm the first child. Okay. I'm the first child. And I feel like well, at least for a point there, I felt like my parents respected my younger siblings more than they did me. My immediate junior sister lives about 7 minutes away from us with her husband and their two children. My sister after that, I'm 8 years older than her. She lives in Michigan. I'm going to get married next year. And then my brother, who was in this house for a while, moved, I think 2 years ago, to his own apartment. Not like he owns it, but renting an apartment or a house, and here I am still living in mommy and daddy's house at almost the age of 40. So it would have made sense that as soon as I was able to afford a house, pack up and leave with my child. Um, Mainly because, for independence sake, right? In fact, actually, when I bought the house, when I told my sisters and my brother that I bought the house, my sisters were immediately of the opinion that I should leave immediately. They were like, listen, pack up your things. Great, awesome. Congratulations on buying this house. When are you moving? And so for me to now come and tell them that, well, you know what, I talked to mommy and daddy and we've decided that I will rent out the house. They're like, no, 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 no. This is the worst idea. No, you need to move. Stop. Like you keep having issues here and there with daddy and with mommy every now and then. Like, just leave. And I understand where they're coming from, because there have been times where my like there'll be a disagreement between my mom or my dad and I go to my siblings and I'm crying, like, what, I need to leave this house. I need to leave this house immediately. I'm sick and tired of being treated like a child and everything. So I get where they're coming from. And to come back now and say, well, now that I have this opportunity to leave, I'm deciding to stay. My sisters are like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you crazy? So, I mean, I get where they're coming from. But I've decided to continue staying in my parents' house for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's no real rush to leave their house now. I don't feel as desperate as other times when I felt like, okay, I need to leave now, 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 now. I don't have that sense of desperation anymore. I think my relationship with my parents has gone to a place where, if we have a disagreement, I'm just gonna let it roll over me, or just like ignore for however long and keep it moving. So I don't feel that, they don't respect me. Oh, I'm tired of the micromanaging. I am tired of the micromanaging, but whatever. Like, I'll get over it, they'll get over it, right? Sometimes when they're asking about Coco and what she ate and what she slept, how she slept, I'm just like, over my head, guys. Okay? So I just don't feel that rush to leave anymore. A second reason is that I like that Coco has her grandparents in such close proximity, right? In fact, let me tell you something. My parents' house is big enough. There's a basement, a completely finished basement. Yeah. There are two bedrooms there. There's a bathroom, as in a shower. There's a living room, okay, downstairs in the basement. And at a point, I said, you know what? I think Coco and I should move downstairs. My parents were like, oh my God, no. Why do you want to go downstairs? I'm like, it's just downstairs. It's just 2 floors down. But if Coco wakes up in the morning, then how's she going to see us? I'm like, she will climb the stairs to come see you guys. Like, I'm not understanding. Oh, no, 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 no. She's going to be too far away. I'm like, I don't understand. we are still in the same house. We're still going to be in the same house. We're just going 2 levels down. And my parents were just, no, 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 I don't think it's a good idea. You don't have a bathtub down there. It's just a shower. How's Coco going to have a bubble bath? We'll come right back upstairs. I mean, guys, I don't get it. The way they love her, the way they love her is just so sweet to see. And so leaving the house, going to a completely different, it's a different neighborhood. It's still, it's not too far from here. The house is not too far from the new house. It's about 8 minutes away from here, so we won't be that far. But I just like that Coco has this, like she can wake up in the morning or anytime during the day she wants to play with her grandparents. They're right there for her. And I remember as a child going to visit my grandparents in where those were always from Port Harcourt. Those were always fun times, having, like all sleeping in my grandparents' room, sleeping on their bed, playing my grandparents, my grandmom's perfumes and all of that. Those were always fun times for me. And Coco has that like on a daily basis. I shared on Instagram recently that one day I was just sitting down and looking at Coco, and I remember when my marriage started falling apart, like I was just so worried about, oh my goodness, she doesn't have a complete family. She's coming from a broken home or from a broken family, but recently I was just watching her and I'm like, you know what? This is the perfect family for Coco. She doesn't come from a broken family. She has me, she has her grandparents, and her dad. Yes, he's far away. Yes, he and I are not together anymore, but he loves her and she knows it. And she has her grandparents there as well, and she knows that they love her as well. She knows that I love her as well, so we are a complete family for her. And so I just really, really like that bond that she has with them. So I mean, we will eventually move out to a different house eventually, maybe even to this house, I don't know. But for now, I just like that she has this proximity to her grandparents. And of course, let me add number three. It's easy for me to go out if I need to, because mommy, like grandma and grandpa, are at home, so I can rush to the bank or rush out to the grocery shop, or, if I have an outing with a friend or whatever, I can do that easier because grandma and grandpa are at home. So of course that's an added plus for me, an added bonus for me. Um, the fourth reason why I have chosen not to move to my new house is because your girl would like an extra stream of income. Okay. I don't have the most high paying job now. I really don't. If I compared myself to my peers, I'm like on the lower end of earners. And so having this house bring in rent money will not only give me an extra source of income, but also it will help me rebuild my savings, because obviously, making a down payment is a lot of money. So I want to be able to build that savings account back up faster. So that's going to help me with that. And also just having something of my own, like building wealth that I can pass on to Coco eventually. Um, that's really important to me. So in my mind, I'm looking at it as an investment for myself and also for Coco when she's a little bit older. In fact, hopefully this is the beginning of, having a real estate portfolio, right? So yeah, those are the major reasons why I've decided that, yes, I have a house now. Yes, it's mine. Yes, it's in my name. I have the deed and the title and all of that. But for now, Coco and I will not be moving to that house. But I am putting in the work, to make sure that it looks nice for whoever we rent it out to. And yeah, well, do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. So far I've gotten a few people on Instagram have asked, oh, when are you moving, like when's the housewarming and all of that. It's like, yeah, so I'm not moving into the house. So, like, everyone was excited when I bought the house. So for them, when I've told them, that I'm not moving in, I've gotten mostly positive responses. Like, oh my goodness, look at you now, landlady Berry and everything. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And I think that this is the beginning of bigger and better and brighter things for me. So I hope to take you guys on, I guess, this journey of land ladyship going forward. We'll see, Sha. We'll see. It is kind of daunting because it's like now I have to like take good pictures of the house and list them, and how do I find the right tenant? I hope it's not like a crazy tenant or things like you hear horror stories, but I'm just praying for the best as we move in this direction. So that's the end of my spiel. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you guys on the next video, whatever that video is. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.